Good evening and welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner and I will be your navigator through this, what we call a Let's Try program. And joining me today is Graham Stark.
Hello.
And we've also got Paul Saunders on the board here today. And we're back in the studio, in the palatial main Loading Ready Run studios. So we got both the bosses, we got the studio back. Let it never be said that there is no oversight on this program. But yeah, we've got you here.
Check out all this oversight we have.
Ooh, lovely. Yeah. But yeah, we've got you here not necessarily for like a performance review or anything, but for a very specific reason.
Yeah, because I dropped my phone.
Oops. I mean, that happens to a lot of us. Normally, that's not a problem because we've either got a case on it or we just don't care, and we're hoping for a nice Millennium Falcon scratch up.
Yeah.
Why are you?
Well, so when I dropped it on sort of a gravelly, not entirely paved road outside, it landed on 2 points. And if we go to that camera 5. I can show you. So here's one of the impact points right here, which you can see just if I catch it in the light correctly. There we go. So impact point number 1, and it sent this rather amazing crackdown. Trying to find the light. There we go.
Spidery.
Down a lot of the length of it, and then later this little one. From the same point, this little one over here. And I got to see that happen. I did the thing where I dropped it and I picked it up and looked at the back and saw it go like,
oh.
And then this one up here just sort of showed up later in the day. I didn't even see this happen. But the second place it landed, you may have already inferred, is this lens glass over here.
That doesn't look right.
No, it's, let me see if I can, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, if you catch it just right on the light, it is quite terribly impacted. It's gotten worse, obviously, as it's sort of fallen apart. Now, thankfully, it's not the lens. It's not the lens or the sensor or anything that's particularly important. It's a little disc of glass that protects it.
Thank God.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping to replace. For the main reason, I don't really care about this part of the glass. The issue is that, because I can just wear I can put a case on it, it's not really a big deal. The issue with that one is that it actually affects my ability to use the telephoto lens. As I can show you, actually, with when it, oh, there we go. So here's the, there we go. We're actually broadcasting from the phone.
Oh.
So this is the 1x lens on the iPhone. There's Paul. It's looking pretty good. Then I'm using the Moment app where you can choose, as you can see on the screen there, the little 1x in the lower right-hand corner. You can actually choose exactly which lens you're using. So I'll switch to the 5x real quick. Whoa, look how wide that is. And then to the 2.5x. And here's the problem. So, yeah, it's dusty because it's opened up and it's full of lint and everything. And then there's the vertices of the cracks are causing those weird dark floaters.
I guess maybe because it's just been sort of in your pocket, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you could have put some tape or something over it to stop.
Would have stopped the dust, I suppose.
Dust from getting in?
Yeah. So perfect for filming dusty, foggy apocalypse scenes. See, I've thought about it, but it just looks bad.
Yeah.
You got sweet, weird, cool lens flares.
The flare
too.
is interesting.
The flare is interesting. I'll give it that. The flare is interesting.
Got that sweet bokeh.
Yeah, this one's new. This flare here. That's a new one. That's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm hoping to replace. Now, I called the local computer repair place and I was like, hey, how much to do this? And they were like, back your phone up, take it off of Find My Devices and bring it in. We have to replace the back lens, the entire back glass. Now, I assume when they say that what they thought I meant was the glass of the the back of the camera bump.
Which is what I assumed when you told me we were going to be replacing the back of the lens of the
Oh,
camera.
okay, good.
And do you know how they take that back end off?
Well, this is all connected, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is not...
Is that what you thought we were doing tonight until just now?
Until earlier today when I
Okay, good.
double-checked.
Okay, good.
Because to get these off, you need to use a special tool to break all of the glass.
Right, and just ream it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, now ideally, we shouldn't have to, because I don't really care about these cracks. Like they don't affect the performance of it. I can just put a case on it if I really care. Not a big deal. They have stopped adding more cracks. So what I did is I went on the internet, and for $12 I ordered from Amazon 12 Pro Max camera lens with protector replacement kit.
The same kit is probably available under other names.
Probably, yes. more laborious names.
I do love that this first step in fixing the cracked back of the phone is to break it more.
Yeah.
I feel that's a very Tinker Tailor solder fry like kind of a mood there. I like that.
So first thing I'm going to do is turn my phone off. Everyone will be thrilled to hear the first thing I'm going to be doing is to turn it off. Now, let's see what all is in the kit.
Yeah.
Because I sort of poked my eye and I was like, yep, that looks like that's the right kit. And I haven't really paid attention. So,
Well, last time we did this, we had the wrong battery.
I was very particular about checking. This is an iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Perfect, good.
And it says here on the barcode, iPhone Pro Max, or sorry, 12 Pro Max camera lens. So hopefully this is the thing.
Fingers crossed.
I assume you did in fact back up your phone though. So I mean the phone backs up automatically to iCloud every day. I mean constantly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That said, if what I'm about to do has any effect on the inner workings of the phone, we have all failed catastrophically.
Like theoretically, this should be a fairly non-invasive
Yeah, like
worst case scenario, that lens gets messed up.
yeah, if we go back to camera 10 here, or 5 rather, I don't know why
We
I
do
said
not
10.
have 10
I don't
cameras.
know why I said 10. Actually, I do know why I said 10, because I'm on line 10 of this board here. So, all right, I'm trying to catch it nicely in the light. So, it should be a case of heating up this area so that we can pull all the broken glass on that and that disc out of there. Because again, this glass on this raised bump, all of this is all one piece. The back frosted part, this raised shiny part, these 3 further raised rings around each lens, that's all one piece of glass. These little bits on the top, I'm finger smudging it, but whatever. These little bits, these little discs on the top are separate pieces, and that's the part that I'm hoping to be able to replace. So we got to heat it up, pull all the glass and glue out of there, and then get a new one and put it back in. So while we're on this angle, let me see what's in this thing. So
I guess there's a possibility that something deeper in the lens also has gotten messed up.
which I hope is not the case, but we will find out. Look at this. They gave me an X-Acto.
Hey, fancy.
It's turquoise. I'm surprised that I get a whole
Actually, wait, yeah, that's on brand.
knife with this. That's pretty cool. Some tweezers.
Oh, those are going to be handy.
So, those are very, very fine, which is good because this is for grabbing and ripping out all the glass that's there. So that's good. It does match the phone. You're right. Good microfiber cloth, Vimour. Microfiber cloth. I've never heard of that brand.
Nope.
What? Have you seen these before?
Double wipes.
Wet wipes and dry wipes, professional screen cleaning paper.
Fantastic.
And then what's the?
It's whether it's hey, you in the bathroom, is it a number 1 wipe or a number 2 wipe you need?
I believe those are the glue rings, and looks like there's some rubberized washers, and then this would be the stuff, the individual thing. Now they're laid out like this so that you know which is which, but this is not
A full square piece?
No, it's not a full piece, I believe.
Fingers crossed.
So we'll find out together. So I don't know. I guess let's see what is on all this.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because this technically, I mean, it's already affected it, but this technically affects the waterproof nature of the phone.
Oh, that's true.
This is not Somebody in I saw somebody in the chat. This is not like iFixit or any of the big brands, right? This is just
This was $12.
Purchased from the local Washington delivery company.
Yeah. So yeah, these look like little. These look like the little adhesive rings, I guess. And then each of these is in its own.
So they got
They have their own adhesive rings. Okay, each of these is in their own bag. And then I guess we'll just pull this out of here and take a look at what we're dealing with. It's in a small ethafoam envelope inside this Ziploc bag. Sapphire coating, soft fiber layer, fall protection layer, heightened hydric layer, high permeability glass layer. What? Okay, I don't know what any of that has to do with this.
a lot of layers.
I feel like the fall protection layer is probably
This
the
I
one
think is
that,
a protector.
Yes, that's for next time.
Yeah, this is actually just like a bonus. Like, how about you put a protector on your lenses, you butterfingers? So we'll put this back away because that we actually don't need. So I guess the part we're actually dealing with then is these. These must be not rings as I initially thought. These must actually be.
Just a full disc.
Yeah. Now which was
Some
which?
paint, I guess.
And the problem is I don't actually know which one's which. Oh, okay. You can actually see. You can just. This will not show up on camera, but you can. Oh, maybe it will. Maybe if I get it right. You can just see. No, not like that. That inside here, you can see there's a certain thickness. No, this is not going to show up on camera. There's a certain thickness of rubber, or black material anyway, moving inwards from this that are these diameters.
and the lenses are slightly different sized.
And so
sizes,
I think it's this thicker one, but I guess we won't really know until we start getting in there.
I'll have to find a piece that's big enough that we can compare against.
Yeah, because it looks. Oh no, wait. This looks like it's. No, that's the wide angle, and then this is the normal one, and so it's this thin one. It's the thinnest one. Is the telephoto. I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, we can double check that once we get it out.
Yeah.
Just not saying that you need them or anything, but are there instructions with this?
Oh no.
Is there like a link to a PDF or a video or something that tells you how you're supposed to do this?
There was a video. I saw a video on YouTube that was like, oh, you just buy this thing off Amazon, and then you do this with it. But the thing itself didn't seem to come with. I'd pull
one, buy this off Amazon.
I'd pull up my phone and look up the instructions, but I just turned the phone off.
I think I can do that there. but,
Sure.
Should we? I mean, we've got the iPad. Should we?
Oh, that's not.
Sure. Yeah. I'll call it up. They don't want you to. Oh yes. Now Apple doesn't want you to fix your phones yourself. Obviously not. No.
Even though now you're allowed to, as long as you use their parts.
So I mean, I guess we want to start by. We'll double check the page, but we want to start by hitting this with some heat to loosen the glue on it, and then just start sort of arbitrarily ripping bits of glass out.
That seems to match with the YouTube video I watched.
Okay, yeah, that is also what I saw. So, but I will briefly traipse on over to Amazon.
Yes, it's always good to double check just in case we're completely off base.
Step 1, buy this kit off Amazon. Step 2, Step 3,
iPhone
fixed phone. Yay!
12 Pro Max lens glass replacement. Well, here's one of them. I don't know if it's the one I bought, but there's a lot that seem to be coming with the same sort of, you get the tweezers, you get the X-Acto, you get the same brand of wet wipes that we have.
Specific wipes, yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly the same brand. Okay, Amazon's choice, sure.
Turns out this whole thing is actually just like a way to sell wet wipes.
Package includes 3-piece camera glass, black tweezers, blue repair knife, clean alcohol wipe. Okay.
Oh, they specify blue.
They do specify blue.
Oh.
5-star review. Really easy to do it by yourself. Just remember about the hairdryer and sticky tape, or watch a couple of YouTube videos.
A specific about YouTube videos, or just like, should we throw on the
Watch
prof?
watch a couple YouTube videos. I don't know. You ever seen the video for Sledgehammer? It's awesome.
I love, yeah.
Here we go.
Great kit. Just remember to do the thing.
Use a blow dryer on hot around the camera for about a minute. Slowly and carefully pry out the glass with the tools included. Careful not to poke and scratch the actual camera inside. I'm a little worried that may have already happened, but we'll see. Use the blow dryer again to soften the adhesive glue and clean it up with a Q-tip and alcohol or with the included tools. Place the new glass and warm it up again with the dryer and press down on the glass. Voila. The process took me 15 minutes. Oh yeah.
That's ambitious.
So, I mean, so here's the thing. If I ruin this, as long as I don't actually like bugger the lens, then I will just go to the local repair shop and be like, all right, can you replace the back glass on this thing? And then they'll take care of that. But
if you can do it yourself, why not?
yeah.
Which is the whole point of this show.
And for $12, no less. Now, I asked Ian about this. I was like, hey, I know you have a torch. Do you have something that, do you have some sort of thing that will make heat that's maybe a little less flame related?
I do. I actually purchased a piece of hardware for this for a previous Tinker Tailor project involving the replacement of a surface mount chip on a television.
Ooh.
So this is a hot air rework station.
That seems like exactly the sort of thing we're looking
Yes,
for.
this will allow us to not only dial in what sort of temperature we want, but also very precisely get the heat into the area we want with these little, I don't know, focusers, I guess you could call them.
Cool.
Yeah, so let's get that set up and get it warmed up. If we need more blades, you don't have to be precious with the one they've given you. I've got
Why do we, I don't actually know why we need this.
that. It will be used for scraping away glue.
Or for like prying edges of things.
I guess. Yeah.
Exacto knives are super handy for that kind of stuff.
Nozzles. That's the word you're looking
Nozzles.
for. Yeah, sure. Nozzles works.
Do not anger the nozzle.
Yeah. Is this Graham's real phone? It is my actual phone. That's why I'm doing it.
Yep.
I was like, hey Ian, can I come on Tinker Tailor and try to replace the thing on my phone?
In addition, in case we need it, we brought some Kapton tape. We're going to use that to mask off the other lenses there so they don't get heat on them.
Good idea.
We've got a jeweler's loop so that you can inspect your work and make sure you've got every little bit of...
Can I use that now? I just
yes,
want to
you
see how
can.
gross this looks. Because I'm pretty sure this is full of dust. Like in a pretty preposterous way. Oh, yeah. Is that dust? Is it pocket lint? Is it skin? Oh, okay. Wow. This is filthy. Never do this.
the breaking, right?
Oh, well, don't. No, I just mean don't. No one look at your phones up close.
Oh, God.
They're gross.
But yeah, this is a Christmas gift, this Kapton tape.
Cool.
Kapton tape is 5 miles long. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Jesus.
So what is it? Is it an insulator? Does it diffuse the?
That's exactly it. It's a non-electrically conductive insulator. So I'm just going to cut a couple.
Pass this over your way. Oh, you
pass
want to do
me
it
the
here?
knife, actually.
Yeah, I have one of those now. All that pocket sand Graham keeps on him. You never know. You never know.
Look, when you run into an idol, you need something.
I've definitely had my. It's like, the charger, like the lightning port on my phone, is starting to get a little unreliable. Like I plug the charger into it, and sometimes it like
Do I
glitches
take
out.
this? Yeah. Do I just put this over the other lens?
Yeah, put that over one of the other lenses. We'll get you another one.
And then I'm like, oh man, this is I hope something's not broken. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh. And then I go in with like a pair of tweezers or whatever and take out like several large, very large amounts of pocket lint.
That's a great thought. I should do that while I have these tweezers handy.
But that should.
So is that enough?
That should be enough,
Covered like that? Okay, here's what I've done. Here's the process.
Oh right, that tape.
Yeah, and that just keeps things down. And also
Masked off the ones that are not relevant to today's proceedings.
I don't know, honestly, what temperature we should go to.
Oh, there's definitely a little bit of fluff in my charge port.
let's start with 300. That seems good. All right.
Nasty.
Let's just crank up the air. All right.
How loud does this thing get?
Not too bad.
All right.
Most of the fan is actually all in the handle here.
No way.
And what you're going to do is just lift it up, and it's going to turn on.
Oh,
And
okay.
you're going to point that tip at the at your lens, and just kind of move it around a bit to make sure you're.
My first instinct was to just sort of like put my hand in, not in front, but like near it, and be like, just like a hairdryer. Be like, is this thing on? And I should not do that with this.
Probably a good idea not to. You can, but.
Ooh, I can smell it heating up already. The device, not the glue. Ooh, that is warm actually. Okay.
It's shooting 300-degree air out right now.
Holy moly! All right.
And yeah, get right up in there.
Like this?
Yeah, no sense. Anyway, let's time this here too. So we'll give it a minute, and then we can see if that's enough.
Hair dryers are 80 to 140 Fahrenheit according to Google. All right. Well, that's someone said hair dryer for like a minute.
But Square.cube says 350 to 360 is ideal for undoing adhesive on tempered glass.
Ah, well.
So thank you, Square. I might just boost it up there.
I'm gonna aim it more away from me.
350.
Do I have it? Ooh, look what I've done to the.
Ooh, okay. We're now melting.
I'm melting the. I'm gonna hold it higher because we're now melting our brand new mat. Surely this is.
I mean, if it's supposed to be a hairdryer you're using, then this might be a little excessive.
All right, maybe we're good then.
I think we're good. Let's go. We're
All right.
You're 15 seconds
So
in.
just hang it up.
Yep. I'll take care of that. So it's not.
So we put a bit of a warp in our thing.
Thankfully, we can deal with that.
All right. So now I just sort of start pulling chunks of glass out of here.
And we can always hit it again with the heat if need be.
Is this in the right? Okay. I want to make sure it's in the right focal plane so you can actually see what I'm doing. Here we go.
If you want to, I can adjust it a little bit if you want to move it around.
Sure, I'd like it to be about here for where I'm using it.
Ooh, if it's not coming out too easily, we might want to hit it a bit more, but...
I think we will need to do that eventually, but for now, the chunks of glass are certainly coming out.
Good lord. We are going to have to collect those, aren't we?
Oh, probably. Boy, that is very dusty. Oh. Oh, goodness. So this part, do you see that on camera? Let me see if I can get this.
Is that supposed to move around like that?
Gee, I hope so. I think it is. Like this.
Oh, it's supposed to be like stabilized,
Yep,
right?
that's the camera stabilization and or focus system.
Yikes.
So yeah, making sure that whole area is clean before you seal it back up again.
I think that's the most difficult part. I think making sure that this thing is free of its existing glass, which, by the way, is firing around the table, is the tricky part. Oh, there it went. I think a tiny shard of it went over here. Not with my finger, maybe.
This is great. Yeah. It's like you know how glitter gets everywhere, except
Yeah.
this is shards of glass.
Yeah, we'll see if I can.
Is that big? Yes.
There we go. How's that?
Okay, got it.
All right, there we go. So if I
If you want to
be
toss
very
the
gentle,
glass up
just
there while
boop,
you're...
boop. Yeah, see? Sure, I'll try to put the glass somewhere safe.
be collected.
Interestingly, it has like a dark ring around it, just like the pieces that were included to replace it. So I guess that makes sense. The ring is definitely on the thicker side, as we can see. This is the biggest piece we've pulled off. The dark part. So
Yeah, using tape to pick it up might be a good idea.
That's a great idea. I think the biggest challenge actually is going to be cleaning out dust and particulate from inside this area.
Maybe
we do need the...
I'm going to readjust your
Please.
camera too.
Ah, there we go. Okay, Ian's picking up the... There we are. Yeah, there's a few bits over here. And there.
Thank goodness for
And a little bit there. Great. Okay, yeah. Then if you could actually adjust the...
You just get comfortable. I'll
all right.
take care of that.
This is a good position here. Excellent. All right, so... Yeah, there we go. Little bits of glass flaking right off. I mean, most of the difficult work was done by dropping it on the ground. Hey, do you have any iPro I could wear before I flick splinters of glass upwards?
I don't. We do. Yes.
We do.
Yes.
I know that we broadly do in the building, but I was like, I'm just gonna wedge the knife in here and like twist and pop that off while I'm staring at it from quite close by. All those magnifiers. I hadn't thought about those.
Corvus, that was something I should have brought with me.
Oh,
yes.
you have those at home? Yeah, that makes sense.
We've been using those for some gunpla.
Ah,
Here we have.
that's very involved gunpla.
We have an assortment. Whatever's
excellent.
comfortable.
These look good.
Great. Recently, I found out that Zenny Optical, other optical places are available, will do prescription iPro for you in their $10 to $15 range.
No, what? $10 to $15?
So I'm looking at that as a
That's amazing.
present to myself for safety's sake.
So you just need really cheap glasses and don't care if they're supremely ugly. All right, so the problem I'm encountering now is getting purchase. Okay, so if you see...
So is that do we need you want do you
So
need
I've
to like
got-
heat it up again?
I think so, because I've got this side of it, this hemisphere, pretty clear of glass, but not this part.
Right, I see that. Yeah.
And I think I can...
Ian, I think your mic is rubbing against your jacket or something when you're moving around.
It's probably my face, I guess. So pull it down a bit. There we go.
Yes, also don't rub your face on your mic or your jacket. Yeah, the section that's clean is looking pretty good, honestly. But yeah, I can't like get into where I need to get. And I don't know. Oh, that goes right.
Oh.
That goes right into the phone.
Oh boy.
Do we have any? We don't have. So we talked about this beforehand. We don't have any compressed air, which is a shame.
Well, what we do have is some warm air.
Well, I mean, I do want that for heating up the glue, but what I don't want to do is
Fire glass in there willy-nilly.
it's the lens part is so dusty, but I guess that's what these wipes are for. So all right.
Okay, well, I'm just going to put that back. Oh, you can adjust the temperature
Oh
up
sure.
to
What do I
350.
take it up? 350.
325, actually, I think would be the best one we want right now.
Okay.
And the way this thing works
On
is
the
you
center
just
rack. Or?
pull it up.
Actually, give me a little bit more tape before I start blowing shards of glass around the table. I assure you we're being quite safe.
As much as we can.
As much as one can in this scenario.
Is the actual volume of air that the desoldering thing is putting out quite high, or is it just is it good for the equivalent of a compressed air thing, or is it not that strong?
It's adjustable, but it's not going to be up to the same level as
Alright.
compressed air.
So I'm going to do this, but I'm going to hold it higher than before, so that I don't warp our poor new board here. I'm going to be a little bit more bullish with it this time.
Maybe a bit more here.
I think it's fogging up.
I hope that it's just fogging up.
Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Does that mean there's moisture inside the lens assembly?
I hope so. The other option is that no, they would not use plastic lenses interiorly, would they?
Pretty sure it's like sapphire something or other fancy stuff.
I hope so. Because my first thought is, oh yes, we're just melting the lens. But that wouldn't make sense. They're not that cheap.
Ooh. Well, I don't think... Oh, there we go. Okay, I was wrong. That definitely loosened the glue.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
Kind of nice.
And my knife. Hold on. Is this in shot? Okay, good. You see how that's all white now?
Oh.
Right? That feels wrong to me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. In my head, I was like, well, the worst that can happen is that I just need to get the back glass replaced. But perhaps the worst that can happen is that I ruin the lens. To be fair, I couldn't really take pictures with the telephoto lens in its current state anyway. So it's not like I'm actually losing anything here, but I am curious.
When they said use a hair dryer, maybe
I mean, that was an Amazon comment.
But maybe like 300 degrees is too much.
Well, you say that, but it still hasn't loosened this glue over here. I'm just worried about stabbing myself. I'm worried about going like da-da-da, pwang.
Yep, right into a finger or what have you.
You know?
This is one of the better situations, though, I like to put myself in when it comes to repairing something like a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is being aware that, yes, I can, if it's completely messed up, I can't break it any further, and I know what I have to do, and I have already mentally prepared myself for that large, full back replacement.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can fix it myself, that's a big bonus.
I gotta say, I was I was fairly confident coming into this today, and honestly, I'm still very confident in all the things that I was confident in my ability to do before. I'm just a little worried about the state of the lens itself. I don't know why it looks like that. Let me see
Yeah,
this.
let's have a look at that. Art Glider says iFixit says hairdryer or heat gun or eye opener. So if it says heat gun, I'd be
Yeah, this is basically what I saw being used when I saw a video for it. But it looks like the lens, itself is full of tiny bubbles.
yeah.
Please, this is one of the strangest things I've ever seen.
That's bizarre.
Like it looks like it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there could be some sort of coating. Like I wonder, like some isopropyl alcohol or something to try and
If you'd like to give that a try, I've got
like if there's some sort of anti-glare coating or something on the lens that is what.
Well, let me get the rest. Hang on, before we do that, let me try to get the rest of the ring off, which is the actual thing that. Oh God, it just keeps slipping. The actual thing that I need to remove.
Do you want some leather gloves for your offhand?
Sure.
Great. I will go grab those for you.
I never read about this in any of the simulations. Man, You thought that it looked cool. Thank you. You thought it looked cool taking a picture through this lens before. Is this the G-Vlog phone? Yes, it's whichever phone is my phone is the G-Vlog phone. Luckily, this particular lens I don't use very often for vlogging because it's the telephoto, but I do... just knocking stuff down into the thing there. But I do use this lens for photography, which if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I occasionally post just like a little quad of 4 photos I've taken recently.
Lovely stuff from around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And beyond.
And I take a lot of those with the telephoto lens, which is why I'm keen to replace this.
The tap, tap, tap the glass out of the phone is
I'm just shaking bits of stuff. Yeah, thank you.
amusing.
God, what can't you do with gaff tape?
Protect against heat, I guess.
Fortunately, replacing the camera in an iPhone is rather trivial. Well, that's good, because that might be what happens. All right. I got it. Well, now I'm petrified of using the heat gun, but I guess whatever damage we've done has been done. It didn't happen the first time we used it. Or maybe it was started to happen and I just made it worse by using it another time. But
Well, I mean, I guess the first time it was mostly blocked by
The
the
glass.
shards of glass.
right, of course, that makes sense. Yeah, this I tell you, this glue is on. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay, I got a big chunk off of it there.
nice.
And then it's just, there's one last, I got this, sorry, I know that it's hard to see. There we go, I got that big chunk off it there. So it's one last chunk. I'd say it's about, God, it's so, shocking no one, the tolerances on an iPhone are very slim. I'd say it's 15%.
Pretty good so far.
Of the remaining hemisphere, or sorry, of the entire circle.
Darkness King says, while you're at it, the backplate is probably easy to swap out too. No, we've discussed that earlier. To remove an entire backplate of an iPhone of this vintage is a breaking of the entire back.
Yeah, replacing the entire back glass, trivial for someone who can do it. That not being me. That's much further than I'm willing to go on my own on my iPhone. On my own iPhone, I'll do it on someone. I'll break the hell out of someone else's iPhone if you want. But no, the local place was like, yeah, we'll just have to replace the entire back glass. And so who knows? Maybe by spending the $12 on to do this, I have now given myself an even more expensive repair of replacing the entire camera assembly, which would be, annoying. But as Ian says, it's important to go into this understanding that while you may be successful, you may not, which is definitely something I thought of ahead of time, and not just realizing that that was what I had bought myself into in the last couple moments.
I once removed an entire resistor from a motherboard, and that killed the computer. Had to go around looking through old computer parts to try and find one of the same size and value. And when you're dealing with something that is sub-millimeter in size, that's more difficult than one would think.
There's one more little chunk. Okay, it is just this one last big piece. And I wonder if I can... I don't think there's any good way for me to just break it, is the problem. It's... Here, if I can get this in shot. It's... Okay. There we go. So you can just see this part here. Here. This part of the glass. It's just on the rim. And it's this bit from here to here is the only piece of actual glass remaining. They've cleared it from all the rest of the circle. And, oh, gosh.
That's not going to work
Dare
the
we?
way I want it to.
Oh.
There we go.
Wait, no, hang on. There we go. you know, if I wasn't blocking, if I wasn't shadowing the light, that would actually kind of work. Nope. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the piece of glass.
Yeah, that is tiny.
Just that
and
little piece of glass just on the rim. The whole rest of the face of it is pretty cleaned up. And there's our white bubbly lens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Coating on lens? Probably not.
Who knows? Who knows? I'm trying to figure out actually that stuff on the lens there, if it's like, if I can see any texture on it. It is very difficult to figure out what the heck I'm looking at.
With the single lens, it's difficult to get that stereo vision.
Yeah.
I do. I was just randomly looking around. I saw somebody with a similar problem on like a Galaxy phone, and the prognosis was not good.
Oh no.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
But I mean, that's just the prognosis from. He's saying like, "Did I break this?" And people in the comments were like, "Yes." But that's just people in the comments. So who knows? But.
Did I break this? Oh, probably. Sure looks like it.
Looks broken to me.
Yeah.
Works fine on my machine.
The comic of like the hand reaching out of the water, and then the other hand reaching down, appearing to save them, and just gives them a high five. I've seen that one so many times of the like, hey, has anyone encountered this very specific issue with a piece of software? And the hand coming down. I am also experiencing that issue. Goodbye.
Yep.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, or I think it was next KCD or something, right? Where there's like, you never feel more alone than you have a big problem with your computer. You stumble upon like a forum thread from 5 years ago of somebody with the exact same problem. And then they reply to their own post being like, okay, I fixed it. You're like, no, what did you see? What did you know?
So much of my troubleshooting these days revolves around going to GitHub, going to the issues section, and typing in is issue : is closed space Mac OS.
We had, for the longest time, we had a very, very frustrating issue with Final Cut, where sometimes it didn't matter what computer we were running, like what computer it was on, what kind of project it was, what settings there were. Sometimes it would happen, sometimes it didn't happen. There was no consistency to it. A video would go along and play fine, and then in approximately the last 5 seconds, the video would freeze and the audio would continue. I assume Paul's looking at something on the computer.
Sorry.
It's okay. And could not for the life of us figure that out. We were dealing with this in editing for like years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
2 years or something. And so what we started doing was just X-Acto hand gesture so stressful. Let me tell you about all these issues I've been having. And so we started just putting 5 seconds of black slug at the end of videos to avoid it. And so it's like, oh, whatever. So the video continues into black for a few seconds. Fine. Recently, we updated everybody in the office to Monterey and the newest version of Final Cut, and the problem's gone. But like, this is through multiple iterations of Final Cut. We were like, oh, well, there's a new Final Cut update. Maybe that'll fix it. No.
Never did.
No.
And it's
never
not like
figured out the issue.
And it's not like there were any like patch notes that were like, fix this issue.
And let me tell you, while trying to Google it, Final Cut export freeze frame is an impossible string to find any. You get lots of results of other problems, right?
The namespace pollution in troubleshooting is a real problem.
It's so frustrating. All right, well, I tell you what, this Every part of this that's like actually clean is looking spectacular.
Got all the glue off there?
Just about. I mean, I'm
great.
getting. I got a whole ring of glue off there.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So. I was just. This is just a video that looks.
This is an update
Somebody
on-
seems to be doing a similar repair job from what
Update
you're
on
doing.
how I've ruined it this time.
And they're using a heat gun to do it. And then there's a bunch of people in the comments, or somebody in the several people in the comments are like, "Hey, what temperature are you using the heat gun?" So I don't want to melt the actual camera. Go for about 60 degrees Celsius. Do not make it like 200. So, may have been a little hot.
Makers out there.
I trusted someone.
Makers. When you are creating instructions that use heat, please specify the amount of heat that you are giving, because otherwise this happens.
Yes, I believe this lens may be. I mean, I'm gonna do it because otherwise we don't got a show. But I believe. Oh, that fired off. Glad I'm wearing the goggles. Oh, ooh, almost got all of it. Hang on. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. But I believe this may be not quite the triumphant result that I thought, or that I had hoped we might be encountering. All right, as you can see now, I've just got. Wait for the light to catch it. In just exactly. Oh, there we go. Just now, there's one little teeny bit. That's the last bit of actual glass. And I've cleaned up the whole rest of the ring. All the glue is gone. It's just this one little bit. There, you can see it. Just yeah, you can see it.
Just flash.
Boop, there, it just catches the light. Boop, just slightly before everything else. Right here. Boop, boop. All right. It might be very literally cooked. Well, as long as the phone turns back on. Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Piece of glass came right off. And into the phone. There it is. Good. We salvaged it. Okay.
I'd be very surprised. Well, if the phone couldn't. If it's like there's actually like.
Oh, I don't think the phone.
That amount of heat for that short amount of time has got to be within the, limits of what the phone can handle.
Well, that looks very clean. Nice. Well, yeah, it's a little annoying to think that this might have all worked if we hadn't done that, but here we are. Okay.
You should be proud of that.
I am very proud of that. It looks really nice. Now, which of these do I think it is? I think it's this one, which is the one that we picked out earlier. Yeah. It looks about the right, because otherwise that one is too wide, probably.
You have this one piece.
Because there's only a little bit of
glass there.
Yeah, which is the thickness of. I don't think this. Okay, I know that this is sort of confusing, but like here's this piece of curved glass that we have, and I'm trying to figure out which of these to use. And oh no, that would. It's maybe a teeny bit thicker than that.
Why would you not have some sort of label on them? We've got three things
that are... Because I got
are...
this kit for $12 from China.
Labels are expensive.
Yeah.
We've got these three
this one makes more
things that
sense,
are almost identical, but you have to make sure you get the right one in the right spot. I mean, the good news is if any of the other two lenses break, you've got two extra pieces. So
I think it is this one, actually. So it's got, you can see here the adhesive is thinner than the
masking.
Narrower than the actual black masking. So I think it is this one. This is the one that seems to line up. But the first thing we got to do before we do that, I say the first thing, is to clean some of this out. So we've got these wipes. Two kinds.
Both wet and dry.
Two flavors of wipes. Removes excess dirt. So yeah, I guess we Did your heat gun just turn on?
Yes, it did.
On the floor behind
I'd
us,
like it
near
to
our
not
feet?
do that. Let's use the switch to make sure that doesn't happen.
It's like a wet dry vac, wet dry wipe.
Unless you have... Oh, you do have a swab with some alcohol.
Yes, I have not placed any alcohol on it yet, but...
I mean, should I try that or should I do these? These are screen cleaning paper.
You've got two sets of wipes there. So.
Yeah, I guess let's just give this a shot.
Sure.
And we can dry the wet wipes with the heat gun if we need to. Ah, brilliant, Emily. Thank you.
Somebody in the chat said that looks kind of like those, like, you know, whatever the tasty sugar. It's like, you know, one side is like green apple and one side is strawberry or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the licking sticks.
Yeah, this seems to be working.
It's like both of these just taste kind of like gross fabric.
Yeah, so I think those bubbles are never coming out.
No.
I think that this lens is actually I don't know if you swear on this show.
Not often, but this is one of those times when I don't think it's appropriate.
Yeah, I think this lens is fucked.
Fubar, I think, could be used.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I'm very sorry about that.
It is okay. Again, as long as the phone posts.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to buy a new phone. Way earlier than planned.
Now I kind of wish that iPhones did like a little like zzz, beep beep when they start out, like actually do a full post test and a little beep code when they boot up.
Oh yeah, man. There's lots of. Boy, I should have put tape over this thing. There's junk all the way down in there. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, and then I guess dry.
Yep.
Now
Your pockets are gross.
now the pink end, I suppose, right?
Ooh, actually, that was full of gunk. That might end up affecting motion on that lens as well.
I mean, it's moving freely. Yeah, it's moving around as I don't think you can sort of see that it's like, turn it a little bit. Like it's jiggly. See? Hang on. Yeah, it's moving around.
Okay. Not bad.
The amazing stabilization technology. Let's poke it with tweezers. I do think it's. I'm personally amused, and I do mean amused. That we were very careful. We were like, let's use this special heat tape to protect the other lenses, and then let's blast the fuck out of it.
I mean, it makes me very glad that we did that.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. That they're what I mean. The other lenses obviously have the other glass over to protect them, but still, there could have been some like heat transfer there.
Mm-hmm. So then, now I believe what I do is I get a hold of this little guy. Trying to be very careful not to touch the inside of it. But I think that's basically just a sticker.
Yep.
And so I just got to pull the sticker off and plop it on the thingy. So.
And blissfully, it looks like they give you 3 extra sets of adhesive should you mess this up.
Yeah. So if I just... Yep, this looks like it just comes... There we go. Get this on camera.
Nice.
Doodly-doodly-doodly-doo. And then I suppose I just... see if I can I grab this properly with the... I've ruined this. Hang on. Not ruined it. There we go. All right.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to settle it down onto eek. There. And get it. Well, I can get fingerprints on this side. Ooh, it snapped right into place.
Very nice.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, that was incredibly satisfying. Even more satisfying if I thought it was going to work afterwards. Look at
Nice.
that. Look at shing. Look at that.
Now, in other YouTube videos I'd seen, they ask you to heat it back up and get that glue right in there, but I'm going to suggest that maybe isn't something we need
Well,
to do.
maybe just not with 300 degrees. So, yeah. Look at that. All right. Mission failed successfully.
It sure doesn't look cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it's got my phone has a milky eye now.
Yeah, you know the swordsman who's got like the slash like down his face.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you can tell that that's the eye you can't see out of.
Yeah. What happened to your phone? It looked upon the face of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very obvious now.
Oh.
Looking upon the face of God wasn't the problem. It was you doing it with the telephoto lens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too close. Yeah.
Yeah. Be not afraid. Ah!
Can't see God's pores.
Yeah. Well, now, obviously, I have to boot this back
Yeah, of
up and
course.
see what it looks like.
All right.
So, holding down the power. Okay. We got the apple. We got the apple. So let's
Yeah,
see
I'm
what
so happy to
happens.
see that.
Yeah. And the thing was still moving, so it's not like we'd like melted that. But yeah, I guess. Well, because someone in chat was like, oh, like hair dryers go like 100, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, well, we can go higher than 100.
And when you say heat gun, that to me means that you're using an industrial heat gun. You don't care what the
And
temperature is. It's hot.
I mean the difference though is like the suggestion. I guess the suggestion of the like 360 or whatever was tempered glass removing glue, but the inside part isn't the tempered glass.
Yeah, what we shouldn't have done is hit it a second time while the glass was open.
Yeah, yeah. So, let me reconnect to our broadcast thing here. Doodle-doo, ha-doo-ba-doo-boo. Alrighty. So this is not the lens in question. This
Normal
is the final.
lens.
Yeah. Here's a nice close up of all the
Ooh, the glass.
some of the glass we've pulled out. Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of the stuff we pulled out. Here's chunks of the. Get a nice close up of some of the bigger pieces of glass. Come on. There we go. Focus. Focus. Is this any better than how we saw it before? Probably not, actually.
No, it's not.
It's not better. All right. So, very wide angle lens, and I'm prepared for just white. I'm just
Yep.
prepared for white. So, yeah. There we go. Oh, interesting. Those floaties are still there.
Okay.
Are they on the sensor? Stuff must have gotten in and around the glass and onto the sensor. Oh. Oh, you know it's oh. Look at that.
It looks like you're under a sheet of ice.
Yeah.
That's looking directly at one of the lights.
That's looking directly at the lights, yeah. You're just sort of
there is some definition there. But
It is-
Wow.
you're a pink
I mean,
shape.
so in some ways, it's one of a
There I am.
something that I guess is a comfort in some ways is that it looks like replacing that glass wouldn't actually have fixed the main problem,
Yeah.
which is the specs.
Things on sensor.
So
Yeah, it turns out that wasn't even the issue.
I suppose there's no way of knowing from your perspective, like whether those specs were there immediately or whether that's just from dust that has got in the meantime.
They were not there immediately afterwards. So this is a user failure in that, as you say, after I saw the cracks on the lens, I should have put tape over it or something to stop dust and whatnot getting into it.
Ingress.
But hey, now I can record video with it. That is
Painterly.
yeah, that is wild. Okay. Yeah, can't see Paul.
Why
at all.
was I just about to say, you should point that at the sun sometime?
I will. Yeah. Wow.
The slightly wonky frame rate you're seeing is just the
Oh, it's the phone doesn't like recording and broadcasting to Paul at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to not doing that. Yeah. Well, Okay. As I say, task failed successfully. I did the thing that I wanted to do, and you know what? I'm honestly very proud of the job that I did, and I think it looks great, and I'll bill $12 to the site.
Another actually interesting aspect is that those dots and specks and stuff are just as defined and sort of sharp.
Yeah.
So they are not being affected by the fogginess.
Yeah, which is why I think that they must
So
be
they
on
must
the
be
sensor.
all the way behind that. Yeah.
That's my feeling too.
Yeah. So didn't break the phone. Oh, there's my background. Yeah. Didn't break the phone. Didn't fix the lens, but I mean it was already.
It was going to be a failure anyway.
It was already. Well, now I only don't. The only downside is that I don't get the as people said that cool filter that was basically how I was filming all my telephoto shots with then. So yeah, replacing the glass and everything, well, worked out great. Now I got to go get the lens, the whole camera replaced, which I needed to do anyway. We have discovered, and also that it was probably my fault to begin with. So I've learned a lot.
Well, you and a lot of people have learned a lot here today.
Yeah, don't use a heat gun that hot.
Well, let's start from the top. Number one.
Okay.
You break your phone.
Yeah, try not to drop your phone.
try not to break
but
your
everyone
phone.
drops your phones. But try not to drop your
Put it
phone.
in the case maybe. If it does drop and your camera does get broken, immediately seal that stuff up.
I will note actually that both of the regular size iPads that we have here at the office have tape like around because they both have fallen and broken. So like the front glass, like not the back, but the front glass, and just like on the edge, has broken. And so we put tape like not over the screen, but over the bezel part to sort of
Just to keep
hold
the glass
it
intact.
together. And I mean they've been fine. But.
One of those.
Oh right, one of them is the Toonie one, right?
One of them. We were playing Commander at Jer's place years ago with Gavin from the, not Gavin Verhey, but Gavin from the Commander Rules Committee, and flipped a coin. And the coin it's not this iPad, but the coin landed perfectly sideways right on the very edge of the bezel. And it just, and like, we'd had stuff bouncing off the screen earlier, and we were using it as a life tracker, and it hadn't been a problem. But this just hit it exactly the right, that it went out in two directions, and we were like,
It's tempered glass is really weird. Like it's
it's finicky.
Glass
It's-
was fascinating. Way
like yeah, certain at certain angles it can be incredibly strong, and then you just hit it at just the wrong way, and it completely breaks.
It's material under tension. Is
Yeah.
what and the minute you break, like Prince Rupert drops, which I would love to be able to make.
Oh, those are amazing.
But yeah, just a drop of glass that you just give the slightest nick to the end of, and the whole thing just shatters.
Well, more than that, it's you take the big bulbous part, and you can just wail on that thing with a hammer, and it doesn't break. And then you go to the other end, and you just go, and it ruins the thing. The Dalish Delight asking a very reasonable question, which is why didn't I have a case on the phone to start with? I don't like them, really.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer, it's a nice design.
I don't use a case on my phone either.
It's a nice little piece of industrial design that I like, and even on the rare occasions that I do drop it, it hasn't been an issue in the past, and this was the one time.
Apple makes a case like this. If they expected you to put a case on it, they'd give you a case. Of course, they do also sell cases.
I mean, I have a case. I have a case for my lenses because the lenses snap into it. But the thing is that by virtue of that, the area to the lens glass is open. Because the whole point is that you put the moment lenses on it
and you need
snap
that
in.
there, yeah.
And their new ones are very thin and nice, and I appreciate that. And they have ones that interact with MagSafe and everything, and those are cool. But I just, they get bulky and they don't slip in and out of my pocket as easily.
Yeah, I don't like the feel of with the case.
Sometimes the buttons can just be the worst.
I'm terrified of not having a case on a $1,000 piece of $1,000 piece of technology. absolutely fair. Don't get me wrong. This is, you know, you asked about me. This is me. I'm not advocating for anything because these are expensive, right? And, you know, between our group over the years, we've shattered plenty of.
We've broken phones, yeah.
I remember Matt drop kicked his. Kathleen dropped one. Kathleen got to do the whole. Remember, like I said, I watched this come up. It was years ago, actually. Again, heading to Jer's place for D&D, and she was like trying to hit the thing on the apartment to get buzzed in, and dropped it, and like picked it up, and was like, "Oh, it doesn't look so." Just watched the spider web creep across the thing, right? I think I've had an iPhone ever since they first came to Canada, which again was the iPhone 3G. We didn't get the original iPhone, and I've fully buggered the screen and had to have a screen replaced once.
Yeah.
I've been so lucky to drop my phone constantly.
Oh yeah,
but
I've dropped it from time to time.
Never shattered anything yet.
Yeah,
It's going to happen.
The only thing I've had to do on phone is have the battery replaced a couple times, but on different phones. Not the
I
same.
had to have one battery replacement done.
But
that was a weird one. Yeah.
but I've never had a screen break on me.
I had my new iPhone in its case before I left the desk at the iPhone store. Fair play. Again,
I knew a guy who had two phones. He had like a new iPhone, and then he had like an old crappy like candy bar style phone that was like that was his drinking phone. That's good call. I was like, if I'm gonna go to a place where I know I'm gonna be stupid, I'm gonna take this phone. And he had a thing where he could like move the SIM from one to the other.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no.
drinking phone. I like that. That's good.
Wear a case or not, it's all about your own personal level of acceptance to risk. And quite frankly, after 3 years now, I hope we're all used to making that calculation. But that's going to do it for this section of Tinker Tailor Solder Fry. We're going to take a short break here, regroup, and we're going to be back with a bit more. I brought in a side project where I'm going to make myself a little grip for this tiny little friend here. But we'll explain what that is and what's going on with it in just a few. Don't go away.
I have a guess.
Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, where we were just cleaning up our mat here. We discovered some more hazardous glass, which might cause micro cuts in the skin.
Ugh.
Yeah, which is actually relevant to what we're about to do next here. So I teased this little piece of kit here, and it just looks like a normal lock, doesn't it?
I only know microcuts as the name of.
Actually, hold on.
I can adjust.
Ah, oh wow, perfect.
Is it a Muse album? Who did microcuts? Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, this is a practice lock.
Oh, wait.
Not for your first home, for pretending that you have keys and giving the children for responsibility. No, this is for practicing lock picking, which is why, unlike most locks, which would be sealed up at the top here, this has some screw set holes.
Thank you, Armstrong. You're correct. That's what I was thinking of.
So that currently only has one pin in it.
It does, and actually I might as well just take that out and show you how that works too, because this is how locks work.
Hands are obscuring the.
It's a fascinating thing. So, you get the little set pin out of there. Come on.
Is that an Allen key?
It is.
Okay.
And then you dump out your lock, and this is what all locks have inside of them. Is a
Ian's new hobby to add to the pile of other hobbies.
Yeah, kind of. So you've got your driver pin, you've got your key pin, and you've got your spring, and that's all that happens. And when you pick a lock, all you're doing, you've probably seen this in video games, is pushing your key pin and the driver pin up to the point where they can lodge against the shear point in the lock, which is where the lock turns in itself. You click it in there, and then it opens. So yeah, you can load this up with an assortment of sizes and shapes of pins. Is the whole idea? This is something to
That one's purple.
give yourself.
Does that make it harder to pick?
Actually, yes.
Is my question too.
I've been not spending too much time in the lock sport world, but longer pins on the driver's side mean less lifting you need to do with your pick, which means it's harder to actually get the set point exactly right. But we'll just put that back together. The problem is, in order to do the picking, we can't zoom out, actually. I need to hold it in my hand with like this.
Oh, that seems painful.
And I've been using the tensioning wrench and
Yeah, it's not quite.
tensioning it off the top.
Actually, wait. Where's the top down, Paul?
Yeah, that would work for this probably.
The closer top. There we go. Sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's not really working because I don't have the pin in there right now. But you need to grip the lock firmly enough and that you can provide tension to the lock without it twisting in your hands.
Right.
Now, normally that wouldn't be a problem with something about this size. It's a good and easy to grip. However, put your fingers around the edges of that
Is this? Oh.
and tell me how sharp that feels. The locks are, they're tapped. Or is that a die? Yeah, they're tapped, sure. With a spiral screw
Yeah.
system, so you can screw things
This
in.
seems like it would be very irritating to hold for an extended period of time.
And I've been wondering, I've been having pains in my hand for the past few weeks and wondering, like, well, what am I doing that's causing my, just this area of my hand to feel like it's been burned or whatnot. And it's because I think I'm giving myself micro cuts from the brass edges like that.
A series of abrasions.
Yeah.
Ugh. No.
So what I figured I'd do is just take some of this leather that I have lying around,
Oh, leather that you have lying
slice off a
around.
bit, and just sew up a little, sort of a ring that I can slip over top of that when I am doing the picking, and then slip off when it's not.
Sounds great.
Really easy little project. So.
I like the idea of it's like, oh yes, that's lockpicker's hand. That's pretty common.
Naguki says checking for microcuts is extremely easy with hand sanitizer.
Yes. Yep, that's it.
There we go. We did it.
That's it. Ow.
That's not hand sanitizer. That's 70%.
No, if you check the
Oh, 90%.
yes, that's you can't get 90% in the small little squirt bottles, but
Ah.
you can fill them up with
You can put whatever you want in a squirt bottle.
better alcohol.
Kool-Aid, 90% alcohol,
Yep, and then you
Pepto-Bismol.
can label.
You can't aerosolize Pepto-Bismol, but
You can label.
well, not with that attitude.
I mean, you shouldn't, but you
Sorry,
can.
you were saying.
I feel like for an air gun for like painting would probably work. Like just put Pepto Bismol in the little
Ooh.
pin at the top.
I mean, I do have a cheap airbrush that's used for makeup that I used as a test. I should try putting some Pepto-Bismol on that.
Gross.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't know why you would want to do that, but I'm just saying you could.
you'd want to thin it first, and I do like to use antifreeze as my, not antifreeze, windshield washer fluid as my
Different things.
thinner. Yeah, very.
Going Medium has been saying that they're also into lockpicking, and they got a set of tension wrenches for their birthday yesterday.
Ooh, congratulations. Hopefully you got the good ones that I... But
And if not, tell your wife you want the good ones.
let me tell you, Graham, I started off doing the lock sport with stuff that I got from dealextreme.com.
The lock sport.
Yes, that's what we call ourselves when we're not locksmiths, because we don't deal with other people's locks.
I see.
Yeah, it's a game.
The same ones Ian has. They say.
Oh, great. These are fantastic. These are the ergo turners, which you can get over at covertinstruments.com. Other lock turners are available.
The sport of kings, as in people breaking into where the king lives.
Probably. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to measure out enough leather to cover that over, cut it out, and stitch it together. It's probably not going to take us much time at all, but it's going to be much better for my hand.
In the meantime, I've got something out of the latest Tokyo treat.
Ooh,
And
exciting.
before I eat it, Ian, I want you to tell me, is this man yelling and surrounded by electricity because this is some sort of energy candy or because it's very sour?
Well, actually, I was looking at this the other day.
Can you put it on the
Yeah, I was looking at this package the other day because I was thinking to myself, ooh, new Tokyo treats, let's get me some snacks.
that if that is the reaction you get when you eat this candy, I don't know if you want to eat this candy.
Look at these tubes.
So
Why is it a question mark? Why is there a question mark on the tube?
because out of the 4 tubes in there, which I believe are soda-flavored gum, one of them is going to be, I guess, extremely sour.
Oh, I hope I get that one. Oh, it's one stick is sour, the rest are not. This
Yeah.
is a mentally.
It's literally
It's a Russian roulette kind of thing.
It's literally Batsu game in a package.
Oh, delightful.
I mean,
I guess we should have saved this for live. Oh, well.
there are 3 of us, so I guess.
Yeah, wow. Cool. Oh. Can you smell that?
Wow, I can smell what the what's just been unwrapped.
I'll have this one.
All right. I will take from the edge.
Spoilers, mine's not sour.
No, this one is very sour.
Well, Paul, you want a normal soda one? How sour are you?
Oh, it's not stopping.
See, the smart move for Ian would be if he's like, "Oh, this one's super sour," so that
It's very
I don't know.
good.
Yeah, this one's not sour.
Lucky
Nice.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if your sense of taste ever returns, you can have a normal one too.
Gum on air is a heck of a thing.
I didn't realize it was gum. Oh well.
All right, we're going to measure off from the one.
I'll try to stop masticating so loudly.
You and me both. Okay. So let's mark
The-
this off.
The only time I've seen lockpicking actually happen is actually a loading ready run thing.
I remember this.
Yeah, we were during Desert Bus.
Desert Bus 6? Like it would have been. It was at Moonbase 3. Yeah.
No, the Desert Bus wasn't at Moonbase 3. It was one. It was the
Oh.
first Desert Bus not at Moonbase 3.
Right.
We were still at Moonbase 3, but the Desert Bus was not.
It was. So it would have been. This would have been at Viatech, which was 8.
Yeah. But so we had to
Yes.
transport a ton of stuff from the Moonbase to the location. This is Moonbase 3. Well, this was quite a while
I
ago.
remember this. I was there for this, actually.
And the Moonbase 3, which was the one that had the lower level and the upper level. I mean, you folks probably know the layout of the Moonbase quite well. There was a door into the lower level that we almost never closed. And that door had a lock, which we didn't really even know that it had a lock.
It was one of those ones where you twist the entire knob to engage it, right? I think. Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so-
it was like you push in and twist it to a gate. It's almost like the lock of like a bathroom door or something.
Yeah.
Like it was not a good lock.
No.
But we barely even knew that it was there because it had never come up. We go back to the office to get something for Desert Bus. That door is closed and locked because it actually turns out that lock is surprisingly easy to accidentally engage. All you have to do is push the handle too hard, and then next time you close the door, it'll click and not undo. Problem is, nobody had the key to that lock
Because we'd never locked it.
because we never locked it, and the landlord was out of town. So we called the landlord a bunch, tried to get, and we go through all our keys and everything. We did not get it, and as it would happen, one of the volunteers who was at Desert Bus was like, I could probably pick the lock. It doesn't look like a very hard to pick lock. And had a lock pick kit with him. It was like one of those cards that had like the pop out picks in it. It was like a special
Emergency kit.
emergency lock pick kit.
I think that was Anubis.
You weren't correct.
Yeah.
It was Anubis.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in chat right now, but
Yeah.
and I was like totally impressed. He actually was able to pick the lock quite easily.
Yep. No trouble.
Impressed, slightly concerned, but it was like an internal door. Like the door to the actual office had like a deadbolt and
Yeah.
stuff. but this is like an internal door and stuff. And I was like, hey, it's like lock picking actually being super useful for something.
Incredibly useful, yeah.
Sorry, can you pass me actually that piece of tape there? Thank you.
I mean, this is just...
Yep. Just
Oh, yes, I see.
Right. We should actually take the time there while we're on this story, too, to reiterate the rules, or the number one rules around lock sport, while we're on the topic, which is don't pick a lock that's not yours.
Right.
And don't pick a lock that you intend to use, that is in use. And the reasons for those should be obvious, but in case they're not, it's...
You could ruin it.
Well, first of all, if it's not your lock,
right.
you are breaking and entering. That is a federal crime, no matter where you live.
It's illegal.
Don't do that. Second, if it is your lock but it is a lock that you're using, yeah, you could break it. You could break it in such a way that you can no longer pick it, and then that lock needs to be drilled out or what have you. And that's an even bigger problem.
So don't practice lock picking on like your front door.
Yeah. Also, then you'll also have to explain that to people. Arclight Dynamo makes a very good point. Also, check your local laws about owning lock picks. For quite a while here, it was not, or at least it was common knowledge that you couldn't own lock picks in BC unless you were a locksmith. That has apparently changed.
Locksmiths, like professional locksmiths around around here, have to be bonded, which is good.
Although,
because when before Kathleen and I moved, when we moved in, someone was changing the locks on the building, and we moved in like a week ago, and they were like, "Oh, Graham and Kathleen, hi." They were a fan, which is cool, But we were like, that feels weird that someone knows where we live, but we weren't worried because they're bonded. So
it's
nice to know that the people who can get into your home.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's interesting, though, of course, is that in every experience I've had with locksmiths, which have been, very positive, they don't pick locks.
That's a very good point.
Like picking a lock is usually not something a locksmith, like, they'll almost always have some other way to, like, either jimmying the door or going, using some sort of thing to go around the lock or something, like, or just drilling out the lock. Like, I feel like a lot of locksmiths, like, actually picking the lock is kind of like an overly fancy thing that, like, if you're actually just a working locksmith and you're just trying to do things as quickly and efficiently as possible, is probably not what you want to do most of the time.
Well, mainly that's generally due to the fact that if you're calling a locksmith, it's because you've been locked out of your house, probably because you've lost your keys.
Right.
In which case, you're just going to be changing that lock anyway. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense to just drill, baby, drill.
We locked our keys in the car. My parents one time locked keys in the car at the ferry terminal.
Oh no!
Like waiting in line at the ferry terminal. The car was in the line, and the ferry comes, and we can't get back into the car.
Oh no!
So we got a lock, various like randoms from the ferry line are like, "Hey, you could try this. You could try this," and of course, nothing helped, which is kind of nice in the sense that it's like, yeah, people just couldn't use like a coat hanger. It is actually more complicated, like, or a pair of scissors or whatever. It's like more complicated. But then they called locksmith or a guy, and he came and he had a basically this like just this special airbag.
Yes.
Is like a very thin sort of rubberized thing that just fit between the door and the frame of the car, and then inflates and just
got the little bulb
pushes the door out just enough that you can get a little metal rod or something in behind it.
Melody Dark says, I used to know a guy who had a history of B&E. He showed me how to get into my house when I forgot my keys once. Turns out my windows just lifted out of their frames, even when locked.
Oh, yeah. When you actually start looking at security devices, it's amazing how much it's basically just locking the screen door.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Some people were asking, what does it mean being bonded? So you'll have a bonding company, which the employee will pay a fee to be bonded, and what that is that they run a criminal background check and a record check and everything on them, and a reputable locksmith company won't hire anyone who isn't bonded, and in the event that something does happen, not only obviously criminal charges, but also the bonding company pays out insurance essentially for any possible damages caused. It's another layer of like,
Yeah, it's not foolproof anyway,
Yeah.
but it's like,
don't be a dick.
yeah, it's just a way of holding people accountable, I think.
and it also it also means that it's sort of publicly notifying the community and the authorities that you have this set of skills. So if your next door neighbor has their lock picked, the police might be like, "Oh, hey, hi, we noticed that you have this." Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we've done
So
here,
you've cut a little rectangle of leather.
yes, we've measured it out. It looks like it's going to fit just about perfectly here.
Hand.
Hey, there we go. But leather does stretch, so I've given it some room to stretch.
I was wondering. I was like, well, it looks like you undercut it there, but
We also want
okay.
it to be loose enough that we can get it out later on. And leather stretches, so we'll make it a little bit small to start with, and then it will grow out into its proper size.
I guess locks are a standardized size, of course.
Some of them are for different sizes. This is definitely a Schleg type, I believe. But there are Euro locks. There are there's deadbolt, different ones.
What am I?
God, what's the other one?
Sorry,
Quickset.
what's the white thing in the very corner of the?
It's the corner of the bottle of
I
isopropyl
see.
alcohol.
Yes.
It was just in the foreground.
So we're just going to put down some holes here to stitch through. And I think I can just do this by hand because this leather is extremely soft. Oop,
It is always fascinating to look at. It's
Want
fun to
hit it
watch.
with this tape?
Sure. Thank you. Ooh, no, that's going to ruin the tape.
What else can I find within arm's reach that I don't have to stand up?
We should
Gotta be
fine with
something.
this.
We have hammers.
Oh, I'll get a hammer.
Actually, if you go to my bag, just on the other side of that, there's a wooden mallet in there, which I would prefer.
Oh yeah.
But the
Luckily, the flashlight on my phone still works.
it's always fun to see YouTube channel stuff like Lockpicking Lawyer and these kind of guys, because while they are extremely talented lockpickers, half the time what they're demonstrating is not actually lockpicking. It's like, you don't need to pick this lock because it's
Yes.
stupid,
Here's the
because it's made by people who don't understand how security
is-
works.
This is the most comedy, like Looney Tunes ass looking wooden mallet.
Would
It's,
you like to know
uh,
where I got that?
It's just the
Japan? I don't know.
you just need a whole bunch of those, and you're a hammer brother.
Amazingly, you're very close, Graham. This was purchased again from the Seattle delivery company for my brother in Japan, but not for this part. It was part of a ice crushing Lewis bag set, and he wanted the Lewis bag, but not the mallet. And so I said, fine, I'll keep the mallet and send you the Lewis bag. A Lewis bag being a small fabric bag with made of non-linting cloth, so you can put ice into it and crush it with a mallet, and you have nice, freshly crushed ice for your drinks.
Oh, thank you. I was going to ask what a Lewis bag was. Non-linting, I assume, because you don't want lint in your ice that you're going to be using to make drinks.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd like to avoid lint in my ice.
if I can, yeah. Because this is for a bar.
Yes, yes. It's been mentioned several times on the show. Go check out Heaven's Dragon if you're in the Akita area. Apparently, some people already have.
Oh.
And oh, by the way, actually, if anyone is watching from Heaven's Dragon tonight, hello.
Hi.
Apparently, they like to use it as a form of English practice. This particular program, because I talk about things that they like.
Next
like
time,
Ultraman.
I cannot wait to come back to Japan, and when I do, I'm going to go there.
Absolutely. I think we'll have to actually broadcast from there.
You're gonna go. There's just like this whole district where everyone is like wearing Tinker Tailor solder fry stuff. People have like masks of Ian's face.
It was funny up until that,
Yeah.
and now I'm worried.
Ooh. I'm a mascot now.
It's gonna be like a Prince Philip cargo cult kind of thing,
Oh, please no.
but like not like a religious thing, more like a fandom. You
Oh,
know?
good, yes.
You know, you'll show up and be like, oh, it's him. He's real. Ian's Hornhole Festival masks. No.
Right, so let's get our stitching needles all put together. We're going to put the waxed thread through the eye of the needle. These are, of course, leather sewing needles, which means they have a blunt end on them.
And they're big.
Yes.
Nate, that weird coincidence that there seems to be a character in most video games that looks kind of like Ian. Not a
Suspicious.
coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've known before I did. Okay. Now, to decide how we want to stitch this. I think we're going to start with just a... we might just go back and forth, actually.
Ah, yes. The back and
The
forth
old
stitch.
back and forth. But we definitely want to... Oof. Oh my, that's not going through nicely. Did I get the holes all the way through? Sometimes they're... Nope, we did.
You gotta find... Is that where you want to work? I'll adjust the camera.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is easier.
All right.
We got to remote the holes
sorry.
here.
I'll just widen up a little bit because we don't need to be quite as close as we did for the...
For the camera stuff.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Didn't mean to make it shake quite so much. There, how's that, Ian?
That is absolutely perfect.
There we
I
go.
won't be moving there at all. All right, and then let's just bring these together.
How's that that satchel that you made a few years ago?
Still gets daily use, believe
Excellent.
it or not.
I believe it. Thought about it for a moment. Believe it. Yeah.
No lies detected.
Like, no, you're a fraud. Nobody could possibly continue to use a satchel for several years.
I mean, it has been a couple of years, but it's actually proving to be quite the good investment, especially given I've been talking with Heather recently of the I forgot the name of my own show, Rhythm Cafe fame. Sundays on Loading Ready Run, and she's been going through a bunch of bag reviews online. So I guess she's in the market for a new bag, and it's apparently pretty dire these days, the market for bags. Lots of people saying, yeah, this is a great bag for someone who loves the Nintendo Switch. All you got to do is make sure to take off your Joy-Con handles before you put the Switch in the bag, and there's plenty of space.
We were talking about that earlier today, yeah.
It's
But
kind of like, that defeats the purpose.
yeah, that's
That's not perfect for a Switch.
yeah.
Yes.
If you don't have the Joy-Con handles, then you just have like a screen that doesn't do anything.
Well, you put the Joy-Cons in there as well,
Yeah.
but it just means that when you want to play it, you got to take it out and reassemble it. She said she saw one where they took the Joy-Cons off and then put them in just beside the screen, against the screen.
Yeah,
And it's like, what kind of psychopath are you to be doing a review of a bag for the Switch? How dare you?
exactly. And so as I said to her, like, well, I guess you know the answer. You just have to become the Joker. And by become the Joker, I mean you have to just design and make your own bag for your own needs.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Wait,
Surely
Rick-
Peak Design makes something
What
useful.
did the Joker have a career making bags?
Oh, I don't know. I just understand that when you get mad, you're supposed to become the Joker. And I guess that's how you psych yourself up for things. The internet's a more interesting place.
I was totally with you until I was like, yeah, that'll make sense. And it turns out it's like, no, it's just you get mad and become the Joker.
Yeah. Guess what? People believe you when you're confident and you say things.
Mm-hmm.
my curse. So we're just doing standard, well, not even standard, we're just doing some crisscross.
Deleted scene from the 2019 movie. Yeah, exactly.
This looks like a medieval bracer for a very, very small person.
Yeah.
It essentially is, yeah. It's
Or
a
for a cat.
Oh yeah, there you go.
cat bracer.
For a war cat, battle cat, if you will.
Well,
We saw a video. Yes, speaking of cats, we saw a video yesterday of a Maine Coon kitten who looks exactly like Finnegan does currently, and then it flashed forward to a year later, and the size of that cat a year later.
Oh,
and
no.
We realized we're in trouble.
oh no.
He's going to be enormous.
Like bigger than
I think
previous cats?
he might be bigger than Baxter. We don't
no.
know yet, but he's huge, and he's an alarm clock.
It just suddenly occurred to me why I've had such a hard time associating Finnegan with the cat. Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, Finnegan is a dog's name thanks to Mr. Dressup.
Oh, okay, yeah. I love Mr. Dressup. What is it with you and big cats? We love them.
They're
They're
great.
They're adorable and fluffy and friendly and loyal and wonderful.
I know I've said within the last 36 hours that I don't like cats, but the big cats are the good cats.
Big floof, yeah.
It's like it's just you get just like a substantial chunk.
I believe we call that in the industry a chunk.
I mean, and the trick with Maine Coons in particular is that not only is the cat quite large, but the cat also has extremely long fur that adds to its size.
Yeah, Baxter's actually quite lanky and skinny, but he's very fluffy, so.
All right, so we've gone across once now, and we've looped through a few times. That should provide enough strength to keep this together at the ends. So let's just tie that off.
The Dallas Delight says, my Maine Coon is like 25 pounds, and I wouldn't trade her for anything else unless it's 3 a.m. and she's on my face.
Gotta trade by weight then.
Reminds me when I was a kid, I had pet hamsters, teddy bear hamsters, and I had two. There were a brother and sister, and they were sort of a mixed variety, and so one of them was a long hair and one of them was a short hair, and so when they were just standing there, they looked to be approximately the same size. But one was actually occupying far less of his fur than the other one.
Right.
So if they were wet, one was about half the size of the other. But if they were just sitting there, they were approximately the same size.
Couldn't even tell.
Was the cat named for James Joyce then? It wasn't named because of James Joyce, but we did before settling on the name, appreciate that we would then be able to joke about the house being rent asunder in Finnegan's wake. So
that's what you call it. That's when Finnegan wakes you up in the morning. That's Finnegan's wake.
Which was adorable. Like because the times that other cats have woken us up, it's been like meow, 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 feed me, and this was just like, oh, your alarm went off? That means you're supposed to be awake. I'm going to just like circle around on the bed, purring without end, and just like bipping my forehead into like the side of your head and being generally adorable and sweet. Oh. It was great. But I'm like, no, but I do need to get up and get out of the house.
Actually, the great thing is now that you've got, now that you've mentioned the impending size of Finnegan, you'll get to have not just the Finnegan's wake, but as time goes on, a Leviathan's wake.
Ooh, fun.
So it's less that Finnegan was acting as an alarm. Finnegan was more supplementing your existing alarm clock.
Yes, yeah, making snooze not able to, because usually it's like go back to sleep, and this was like the alarm goes off, hit snooze, and then there's a cat being like, but what if I made biscuits on your arm? And I'm like, okay, I guess I can't actually go back to sleep at this point. So
a little problem with that, but.
Growing up, I would often wake up to a cat. Sorry, Rock Pusher says, growing up, I would often wake up to a cat sitting on my chest, hugging my neck. That cat sounds like it was trying to strangle you.
Knows what it's doing.
Back on topic, Electrodyne says, the thread doesn't look especially waxy. Can you tell us what kind it is?
It is whatever was available from the Washington Delivery Company. It is, yeah, just their cheapest wax thread that was deliverable to Canada. It's not, doesn't look waxy, but the minute you touch it, you can see that's a very,
Oh, yeah.
it's a tacky.
Wait, available to be. Is there some restriction on wax thread in Canada?
No, but sometimes there's weird restrictions on that site about what can and can't come to my country. So that's it for making the little hole. Now the question is, can we get it on?
Let's get it on. Let's see. Let's go to the close-up. There we go.
And of course, the big question is, can I get it off afterwards? Mm-hmm. So it's going on quite nicely. I might just have to actually... Honestly, though, given that I haven't been able to successfully pick this lock too often, I don't see myself changing it out all that often. Oh, boy. Okay. No.
Yeah, but you need to be able to take it off to put the pins in.
Yes. To swap it out. And it does... Actually, this is good. This is about where I want it, because it won't fall off on its own, but it will come out.
And it'll stretch a bit to make that a little less.
Exactly. A little less onerous over time.
Yeah.
Huh, that's great. So then, I guess what I'll do here in the end, I've only got the one pin in there, which is good. Let's try picking that open.
All right.
That's the new thing, and let me tell you how comfortable it actually is.
Got to be better than
it was before.
micro cuts the spiral, yeah.
Ooh, it looks good.
It does look good. It looks very cool. It's like, that's definitely the like, oh, no. This is my lockpicking hobby.
All right. All right, well, this is Tinker Tailor Solar Fry. What I've got for you is this resealable practice lock that's available over at covertinstruments.com. You could, if you do like it, get something at store.loadingreadyrun.com too. It's a single.
We don't have lock picks, but we have a dice bag you could put your picks in, I guess.
We're going to use this single hook from the Genesis set. In 48,000, then we're going to use the short hook, actually.
What era of Genesis?
Ooh, definitely the, oh no, why can't I remember his name? He couldn't walk.
You're not good at names.
He couldn't sing, he couldn't walk. The only thing about him was the way he talked. Mr. Genesis.
It's either Peter Gabriel or Phil Collins.
Phil Collins,
Okay.
Thank you, that was it.
Mr. Genesis.
Phil Collins is next. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well there's no pins on 6 through 2. Let's get into pin number 1. And let's see if we can...
In the UK, he's known as Mr. Master System.
And we've got this open.
Got in before Corvus made the joke. Excellent.
Dang.
I
Cool.
feel like that's a good illustration of why we have more than one pin in
Yeah.
locks.
So how comfortable was
That
that?
is extremely comfortable to hold, right? Because, well, here, let me give that to you, and you can give it a try. You're using top of the keyway tension.
That's got good heft to it too. So it's you sort of hold it there, and then you have to give pressure, put a little
Yep.
pressure on there while you're rooting around inside.
Yeah,
That is nice. Yeah.
The visual of the like metal of the lock and the leather is quite stylish too.
Yeah, no, I like that.
also gives the impression that this is absolutely not a lock for actually securing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is clearly just for fun. Well, great.
Well, great. I think we've had a successful show then. We got a phone cosmetically repaired. And
Yeah, we were talking during the break, and I consider that, as the bearer of the phone, I consider that a success because I did exactly what I set out to do successfly. Granted, with the heat gun, we fried something inside the lens, but as you all saw afterwards, there's those spots, those floaties or whatever, are clearly somewhere deeper in the because they were sharper than anything else, so they're clearly on the sensor or something. So it turns out no matter what happened, the whole camera module would have had to be replaced anyway. So I'm not going to call that a failure here. I did the thing that I set out to do, and I was successful at it.
Can I?
It says it's when you go to Apple and you be like, I don't know, my phone, it just was like this when I got it. And they're like, sir, we have extensive video evidence.
Can I offer a theory as to why they got sharper, the bits on what we're guessing are on the sensor? Because we essentially built a softbox for the entire camera unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
right.
that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching through this particular strange array of projects today. But hey, that's what we're all about, trying new things and getting through them, because we can. So at this point, probably best to thank those of you who have been joining us here today, either by just sitting in the chat, lurking, being a active chat member, or to those specifically who help us monetarily at the various places you can. We mentioned store.loadingreadyrun.com. We've got patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, where you can go to help us keep the lights on. You can go to youtube.com/loadingreadyrun and become a member there, which will allow you to ask us questions with our monthly Ask Lur statement. That's coming up soon, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, so get your questions in quickly if you want to be a part of that. But as always, we want to thank those of you who subbed and bitted us here directly on this stream starting with a number of you. I don't know if I gave Paul enough time there to get that up.
Hey, look at
great.
that.
Wow, we haven't done this in the...
Wait, I have to actually start it.
Thank you for subscribing. Goodbye.
This is better. People did subscribe during the stream.
Thank you, Spongehorn, for those nerd number of months.
Arclight Dynamo for 51 months.
Krieger-san, Giroshku, 102 months.
Current top possible. That's
Wow.
amazing. Smith Kurosaki for 22 months.
Ard, thanks for joining and thanks for subbing, 10 months.
Doctor Strange Al for 21 months.
Crew Delis for 102 months.
Cramburger for 91 months.
Ivan Les, 55 months.
Darkness King Cool for 33.
It's the Reverend, Texan Reverend himself, 58 months.
Paranormal Snacktivity for 8.
The Manaleak, 70 months, thank you.
One True Seth for 97 months.
Mew the Anxious Ghost for 21 months.
Prince Nimzar for 45.
Rhino Law for 44 months.
Black Blade for 91.
Nurmar, 42 months.
Shatton 88 for 39.
Roadhog, 123, 44 months.
Strasvin gifted 2 subs.
And a Voided Warranty gifted by Demonfire.
Whoa.
Thank you so much to Going Medium, Zeto69, Discord and Token for those 650 bit stub bits.
Bits.
That's going to do it for Dana Taylor Solder Fry for this particular episode.
Paul, you want to shout out anything coming up on the stream? Coming up on the channel soon, rather?
Checkpoint Plus.
Right.
Be coming in tomorrow. Yeah. Be talking. If you haven't seen it, today's episode of Checkpoint just went up on the YouTube channel.
I haven't seen it. I was there though.
Mostly. And then tomorrow evening, we've got Friday Night Paper Fight, where we're going to be doing Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Draft.
Ooh,
Yeah,
draft time.
we're doing a remote draft this time. For a variety of reasons, which we don't need to get into. We're gonna get in. We weren't able to make the IRL draft work this time. But we will still be doing a remote draft with everyone hanging out on Arena.
You always meant to. It was thematically accurate for this set.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
we're
in
taking it online.
cyberspace.
Yeah, we're gonna hack the planet.
And then it's going to be one more on Saturday with James, Joachim, and Serge. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. I believed in them that last week they would have escaped from Tarkov.
I thought,
Well,
right?
that's-
I was like, they're going to do it but obviously they're still in Tarkov if they've got to escape again.
Well, that is on brand for the rest of the weekend, because speaking of one more on Sunday.
I'm going to be playing Immortals Phoenix Rising. In fact, I might be finishing Immortals Phoenix Rising
Nice.
on Sunday. I'm at the like Are you sure you want to go into the giant volcano? That's where the bad guy is.
Good sign, yeah.
You mean the bad guy? Is it the giant volcano in the middle of the area that has lightning bolts shooting into it?
Couldn't be.
But then Rhythm Cafe. Oh,
Where are we still? Demo's house. When will we leave? Demo's house. Who knows how long we're here? Demo's house.
Demo's has been a thorn in your side, eh?
It's actually a great game. You know, we kind of got a little silly the first time playing it, but the more we go through it, the puzzles are actually quite fun. It's very musical based, and it's a great rhythm game on top of that.
Sweet.
And then Wheeler is going to be playing Inscription, which apparently is good.
Yeah, he says he's surprised by it, by how it's basically like it's not what he expected, and it's very much his jam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on Monday, it's not on the schedule right now, because I will probably have beaten it, but I might be doing something on Monday morning, I guess. But if I haven't, or if I finished it, then it'll just go right into the Can't Draw Horses Club on Monday, followed by Crossing the Streams, where I believe the plan is to be playing some of the new Switch Mario Party.
Oh right, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Party, right?
XScar with a 75-month resub in under the wire there. Pardon me. Thank you.
So much for that. And of course, I want to say thank you as well to Graham for joining me on tonight's program.
Thanks for having me,
to
Ian.
Paul for being on the tech there for us. And thanks once again to you. We'll see you in a fortnight, never in fortnight. As we say now, ever forward, learning out of spite. Good night.